It seems to me that this tolerance of ambiguity and uncertainty and emptiness that science promises is only partly, I think, founded on the idea of progress, that we are going somewhere with, I guess, this mythologically totally complete knowledge at the end of that journey. It's also based on the idea that the ground we're walking on is solid and the place we came from is a real place. It's very much part of this, but there's a whole schema associated with that image, not just simply a destination. And I think certainly through history we have seen, in the history of science, we have seen moments in which parts of that model have been shaken a little bit. I'm thinking here, for example, of Gödel's famous theorem in mathematics, which seems, from what little I know of it, to demonstrate a quite fundamental gap in possible mathematical total knowledge, an insurmountable gap. Of necessity, there will always be an unknown within not the progress of mathematics, but at its very heart, at its truth state, within its truth status, i.e., at its location, the solidity of the ground on which you walk, the exact location of the place you're coming from, those kind of elements of the epistemology, I think Gödel's theorem attack. And I only know the term uncertainty principle in quantum physics from Heisenberg. It's to do with the unknowability of certain complementary qualities of fundamental particles. And I know there's a lot of quantum flapdoodle talked about, as Murray Gell-Mann calls it, in relation to quantum physics. But I think the reason why it's captured, to a certain extent, the public imagination, and certainly has influenced some physicists to, and you would say, step outside of the realm of science. I'm thinking of David Bohm, David Peat, one or two other people who've made moves which are not really scientific, at least partially influenced by the apparent unaccountability of some aspects of the quantum world. Again, it seems to me that those are not problems with the uncertainty of the future. It's the uncertainty of the map, if you like, through which science is progressing, or is assumed to be progressing. These in no way, of course, invalidate the true status of the mathematical findings, or the objectivity of those findings, or the value of those findings, any of those things. Those are all exactly the same. What it does, for me at least, suggest is that if you like, the kind of mythological or metaphorical or schematic underpinnings upon which those findings and objective ideas are developed, it's those underpinnings which are kind of shaken. And since it's those underpinnings which give a certain kind of faith, a certain kind of confidence, a certain kind of comfort, not the objective findings themselves necessarily, then I think that does account for why scientists do occasionally waver in their embracing of doubt and in their ability to tolerate ambiguity and uncertainty.